Hey everybody, welcome to the Thursday Hangout. It's Kate Buck Jr. here, and we've got an awesome hangout for you today. Now, for most of you, this is not your first time meeting Karla. You will remember her because we hung out together in the Social Media Day Summit where we talked about selling your skills because Karla is the CEO of Scalewind, which is a managed outsourcing company. But what you may not know about Karla, I know because in addition to knowing her online, I know her offline as well. We are both here in Playa del Carmen while they're doing construction outside of my condo right this very moment. And I have the pleasure of hanging out with Karla every other day or something. Our record is like 6 dates in 1 week. Which is opposed that on just just having Karla on my social media, I had a post go viral. So what you probably don't know about Karla, in addition to being the CEO of Scalewind, is that she is an award-winning writer, speaker, and entrepreneur. And she grew $1 million business over the pandemic without spending any money on ads. She has a background in marketing, copywriting, outsourcing, event planning, and extensive stage, blah, blah, blah. She's literally the Swiss Army knife of everything. What I want to tell you about Karla is that she's a blue check mark, and she got a blue check mark from her organic content going viral. She is masterful with the craft of writing social media posts. Now, when we talk about copywriting, you guys, a lot of times you think about this long form sales copy or copy for ads, but I'm literally talking about the captions for your reels, the descriptions on your Pinterest pins, etc. She's masterful at writing that short form copy, and she's here today to teach us her ways. Hi, Karla from across the street.
Hey, Kate, and hi to everyone here at Social Media Pro Connect. I'm so excited to deliver this class to you guys. I was actually the one who raised my hand and bullied Kate into this because, content on social media. A lot of copywriters out there sell courses about, like what Kate said about writing copy and selling products, but the longer, branding and personal branding is a long play, and there's a lot of really good benefits to it. Like one, for example, is that you can see visible from Kate's branding too, and my branding is that the more people know you and the more exposed your content is, people will follow you whatever you do. So to be honest, Kate can decide to start selling real estate tomorrow, and she'll find her first few clients on social media probably. Or I can decide to, say, be a financial advisor tomorrow, and I can guarantee you I can make 10K on my first month just
Oh
because
yeah,
I have that
I
authority.
sold 4 condos in the last couple of months in Playa del Carmen, Mexico.
Just
So,
because she decided. Yeah,
just
just because
because
she
I post,
decided.
I'm here. So
Yeah.
I'm going to be quiet. They're used to hearing my voice. And I think you have some slides and a great presentation to share. So I'm even going to take myself off the screen. And if you need me, just holla, holla. You guys are in for a treat.
Okay, sounds good. Let me share my screen right now. Share screen. So today we're going to talk about organic social media growth and writing compelling posts. So this is an exclusive class for Social Media Pro. I have done this class a couple of times, but not in to a public, just for a few of my followers. And I've also updated the content. So actually, this specific class, I've never done it before. And the reason why I wanted to do this is because I want you guys to learn the principles of getting your posts to the best chance of it going viral. So I cannot guarantee that it will go viral immediately. Like after this class, you're gonna write one post and you're gonna go viral. But I'm gonna give you, like, my artillery basically, and I'm gonna teach you the principles of writing certain posts that get people to engage and react, because that's what's important. Whatever you're selling on social media, you're selling medical services, you're selling legal services, you're trying to build a personal brand, you're a dating coach. For all of your clients here, because all of you guys are in one way or another, using social media to make money, and that's why you're here at Social Media Pro. You're getting like the best training for that. So I'm happy you guys are here, and I'm honored to be doing this class with you. You will definitely benefit from this, and you can even teach some of the principles to your clients, so that even without your help, or even say on a weekend where your content or the content that you scheduled does not go on a weekend, and they want to have their own freedom to write posts as well, they can also learn from you, and it also brings more value to the table with you as a service provider, and you can also charge more for it. So do you ever wonder why there are people who are just so good at writing viral content? You have this one friend, you have this one funny influencer that you follow. These things are intentional, and these things can be learned, and these things can be honed with practice. So I did not wake up in the morning and decide to write a viral content like 10 years ago, but today I can predict what kind of content would have that kind of achievement. In fact, I actually posted something on my on my profile. Let me see, 3 hours ago. I'm going to read you the insights right now. That was 3 hours ago, and I got 1,669 impressions already, engagement of 277. So that's combined likes and comments, 277 in 3 hours. So I'm really like, I'm really teaching, the real shit to you guys. Yep. Please edit that out if that's not allowed. So I want you to be good at writing viral content. So a few principles first. There's a difference between what a thought leader is and an influencer. So, Kate and I talk about this a lot. An influencer right now, as a moniker or as a term for someone with a ton of social media followers, we call them influencers simply because they have a ton of followers. So, who is the first influencer? I don't know, maybe Jesus. He has like 12 disciples, he has like 12 followers, and then he grew it to a ton. Now Jesus has a lot of followers. So, an influencer today is a person with a lot of social media followers, but that's not really who you want to be. Simply, you can still be an influencer, but I want you to think if the actions that you're doing is an actual thought leader. Because a thought leader, with the word itself, it starts with the word thought. So it means that you're a thinker. It means that you are a leader in thinking, right? Like that's what a thought leader is. And thought leader is actually the real influencer, because when you're a leader in thought, a leader in thinking, that's the only way you can actually influence someone. So you have to remember that every person is an influencer, and our influence extends to the breadth and depth of our social circle. Or so, for example, my boyfriend, he's not an influencer. He has like, I don't know, 500 followers on Instagram because he uses it as his personal thing, as a way to catch up with family and friends. But in that circle, he is an influencer. He, if he refers someone to this restaurant, they're gonna follow his, his referral. They're gonna, oh, I was recommended by this restaurant to visit this country or to buy this brand of clothing. So anyone actually is an influencer. But for you to create these viral posts on social media, you have to think about, what will a thought leader do or say? How will a thought leader behave? Because being a thought leader and thinking that way is the best way for you to influence people, including the things that they buy. And that's what we're here for. Why is it important? Why is it important to think like a thought leader? It's because, number one, popularity equals exposure. So the more followers you have, the more exposure, the more engagement you have on your account, is a nudge towards the algorithm that means, hey, look at what I'm doing. People love it, and you should show it to others. So every action on social media, a like, a haha, an angry, a comment, a share, every interaction, every piece of engagement is a nudge to the algorithm of that platform to tell them to show it to more people, because you're creating content that they benefit from. So why do I say that? They benefit from you creating good content because these social media platforms make money from you staying on the platform because they can sell ads. Right? They can sell you something, and then they can sell the fact that they can sell you something to these advertisers, right? So you have to remember that social media platforms are really invested in getting you to stay on the platform and getting more people to enjoy being on the platform. And if you can be that person or that icon who can do that, then popularity and exposure will be rewarded with more popularity and more exposure. Letter B, or next reason why it's important because you get to cement your brand. The more you're consistent about what you're talking about these topics that you're an expert in, or that you want to be a thought leader in, you get to cement your brand. So I'm just going to say this right here. You can talk about different things, but your brand has to stay consistent. So maybe if your personal brand, or even if you're thinking in behalf of your client, you have to decide what are the top three things that the brand needs to be known for, and then you just kind of grow and plan every content with that. So for me, I want to be known. I want to be known for being a successful business owner. So I embed that thought when I post something. I want to be known to be approachable and funny. So I have a lot of comedy posts that also get a lot of insight or a lot of engagement. And number three, I want to be known as a person who loves to help other people. Really, so even if I'm getting or I'm giving advice for like health or my personal thoughts about feminism or something, if there's a way for me to be able to advertise myself as someone who wants to help people, or who wants to, so someone who stays with her beliefs and all that, then that's always good. And then the last reason why it's important to do that is it pushes your content forward algorithm wise. So this is like a combination of popularity and exposure and cementing your brand. The more you do it, the more rewards you'll get. Okay. So now you're famous. How does it contribute to your business? So it contributes to your business in a good way because number one, it positions you as a great person to talk to, which translates to something super important, which means that if you're a great person to talk to, it makes the sales process easier. So making the sales process easier is should be one of the best or most important things that you should do for your business. So people love talking to people who are who is classified as a great person to talk to. And that's why we have certain impressions on bad salespeople, like a sleazy used car salesman, or someone who's pushy about an MLM business. So when I mention these words, or when I mention these phrases, you already have an idea what kind of interaction you're going to get from these kinds of people. You need to be the opposite of that. You need to be a great person to talk to. And writing viral posts and writing posts with a lot of engagement definitely contribute to that and can make doing business easy. Number two is in the customer journey of knowing, liking, and trusting you, you get to fortify this journey by creating a lot of compelling, and viral posts. Lastly, I love this. It's practical. It's a practical and easy way to be remembered and referred business. So I write a lot of social media posts on Facebook that get a lot of eyeballs, that always, go viral or have a lot of interaction in the first few hours. So I'm always coming up in people's news feeds, and people are always remember me or think about me, and it's easy for them to refer my business. So if whether you're doing this for a client or you're doing this for yourself, there's definitely a lot of benefit to it. Okay, so let me share some caveats with you. Obviously, this is, I wanted to just give you some, rules or some tips in, by being able to do this, that it comes with a certain level of responsibility. So first, I just said that. First is, please remember the famous Spider-Man line, with great power comes great responsibility. So now that you are in front of a lot of people, you are an influencer, you are a thought leader, then you can, you have to be careful what you say. And if you are creating a post that is kind of controversial, or maybe it's political, or maybe it's something about the environment, or an issue, a current, a current event, then you have to, it's okay, some people will tell you don't post about politics, but actually if it's aligned with your brand, and if you feel strongly about it, and if you feel that your audience will benefit from it, I'll give you more information later about this, then I think that you should do it. And you know what, the people that you repel are actually the people who will never buy from you anyway, and the people with misaligned principles. So these are the people that you don't want in your life anyway. So don't be afraid of getting hate. Don't be afraid to get blocked if you're speaking your truth, and if you're not hurting anyone, and if you're genuinely trying to help people. So I've I've talked about my stand in politics, abortion, believing in God, a lot of things, what, how we should teach our children, and I, how women should behave, and and these are my opinions, and I've gotten a lot of backlash from it. But I've also, I kid you not, I've also gotten people who remember that post from years ago, who became my clients. Like, I literally have a guy who just became our affiliate, and he told me, do you remember that post you made like 3 years ago, when you said that women should not talk about their achievements or their work so much when they are dating, or in the initial days of dating a guy, because it's a lot of like masculine energy. I got a lot of hate from that post actually, but he remembered it and he appreciated it. And 3 years after, he even made a point to mention it, and now he refers business to me. So funny how that works. Number two caveat: content has to be relevant and contributory to how you want to be perceived. This is what I was telling you before about how it should be aligned with your morals, it should be aligned with your personal brand, because your personal brand is immortal. How you show up on social media, we might move to other platforms in the future. Facebook might not be here forever, but how you are perceived is immortal. So you have to really, make every post as intentional as possible. And number three is you have to stay as a person and not a classified ad. I want you to learn how to write viral, compelling posts, even if it's not about your business, because on social media, if you're selling something, it's better that people remember that you're human instead of just you talking about business, because that gets tiring. So obviously an example is when you're hanging out with your friend. I love hanging out with my friends who are successful, multimillionaires and all that. But I tell you, if all they talk about is business, I'm not gonna hang out with them. I just want to talk about like fun stuff. I just want to hang out with humans. And if I want to talk about business, I'll hire a consultant, or I'll ask for their help. Right. So
Well, Are
uh,
you trying to tell me something? Are you trying to? I'm just kidding.
yeah, sometimes I actually force Kate to talk business with me. I call her randomly and say, "Hey, I need your advice," you know. Um,
And likewise.
and likewise, yeah. But we're business besties and real life besties, so that's a very special relationship. And look, social media has actually brought Kate and I together. So now, we kind of do business together, and we're also helping each other become better at our specific and individual businesses. So there's tons of rewards to being able to shine and being able to get seen on social media. So now that I talk a lot of a lot of bull about how good I am at social media copy, let me share some viral content pieces that I've produced over the past few years, and I'm going to show you that it's possible to do it with different topics, and that the formula is learnable, and that I'm going to give you confidence in how to learn how to do this. So this is my most viral post. It's about donuts. So the situation was, I saw a lot of people line up for buy one get one donuts, and I posted something: who else thinks their time is only worth buy one get one donuts? Remember, you can always afford donuts, you can always make money, but you can't make more time. Change your mindset, change your life. That was my post, you know, in verbatim. And I reached 4.9 at this time of the screenshot, 4.9 million. I got engagements of 3.2 million, 48,000 comments, 46,000 reacts, and 23,000 shares. This is my most viral post. And it's what, 50 words? It's like 4 lines. And it's very simple. I did get a lot of hate, but I also got a lot of people who stood by me and defended, my post. A lot of people thought it was classist and elitist or whatever. But it is true. I actually made a computation about the minimum wage and the minimum amount of money that people can make per hour in my country, in the Philippines, where I think our minimum wage is, let me think, $11 per day. So even if you're working minimum wage, your time is still worth more than donuts with the cost of donuts. So I don't know why I got a lot of hate from this. But my successes from this post is it blew up my following. I got a lot of press. I got actually featured in Yahoo Finance and some um, local press in the Philippines, and it also contributed to me getting verified on Facebook. So, and financial rewards, I'm going to share it with you. This was the time when I was speaking and I was a business coach. I actually sold out 4 cities. I sold out tickets for my roadshow. I basically did the same event in 4 different cities in the Philippines, and I sold out my tickets just because they knew me and they started calling me Donut Girl. And some people just wanted to see me. I felt like a small celebrity, but it was great. It was awesome. And I also made a lot of friends, from the people who stood by me. Here is the post. Oh my God, I'm going to share this with you. A lot of people thought this I was anti-feminist. And so I said a lot of women misunderstand all this girl boss, strong, independent woman. I'm a catch. I have lots to bring to the table mindset, that they become so headstrong and overbearing that they lose their feminine energy. And feminine energy is still the best energy that gets the best guys. So a lot of people were triggered by this post because I was kind of saying they think that I was telling girls to downplay their achievements. But what I was trying to say actually is that when guys, I believe, this is my belief, and you can disagree with me, when guys fall in love, they actually don't care about your achievements. They care about how they feel when they're with you and how you make them feel. I think that's it. And a lot of boss babes there attacked me and said, how can you say this? My husband loves that I have money, and my husband loves that I'm this boss babe and I'm a workaholic. I'm like, that's not the point. Anyway, but a lot of people love this post too. And I got 1,700 comments, 95 shares, 874 reacts.
This is all pre blue check mark too, by the way, right?
Yeah, you can see in the screenshots that this is pre blue check mark. So the blue check mark actually, guys, pushes your content to more people, but you can do this even if you're nobody. So I'm gonna teach you. Social Media Pro is the best place to learn all of the best stuff, whatever is new on social media. So if you have friends that are starting the same business, or if you want to help out someone who want to start a side gig on social media, learning these things, you have to get them here, Social Media Pro. And that's the reason why I'm only doing this class here, because it's literally the best place for you guys to learn about social media. So here's another post about the SEA Games, the Southeast Asian Games. It's a sports event. So see, I don't play any sport, amazingly, but here I am sharing my opinion on sports. But even though I'm a nobody at sports, look at my post. It got 184 comments, 548 shares, 80,000 people reached. So I and here are 2 posts. One is about real estate and investing in real estate. This post I already, the screenshot I already got a check mark, but I actually posted this before I got my check mark, but blue check. And this image on the left is, I was talking about my mother and how my mom was, and how I believe that it was important that women in relationships should make their own money, because they can support their partner when their partner is not doing well, or if their partner wants to explore an opportunity and they would have to leave their job or something like that, and how you should always be a team player financially. So because that's what I seen my mom do. My dad always made money, but my mom also wanted to make money, because she wants to be there for my dad financially and to be able to hold stuff together in our home if my dad decides to resign, quit his job to start a new venture. And if he doesn't make money for the first 6 months, then my mom is there to support. So obviously it was a very nice, like, heartwarming post, and a lot of people liked it. um, and then on this right side, I posted a joke. This is literally a joke, and that's why you can see 5,000 haha reacts. I was talking about this real estate project in the Philippines, and I said, you guys were pre selling this building, and I've already had 5 boyfriends. And you're still not done with this building. So it was just like a joke, basically. And then I said, what are you waiting for? My menopause? When are you finishing this building? So actually, in a way, I was trying to protect the buyers of this building because I wanted them to get what they paid for. But I made a joke out of it. So, and it went viral. And then when they tried to cancel, I think this is Jay Shetty. When they tried to cancel, I think Jay Shetty, because he was copying content and stuff like that, I said my post, or I said my stand about cancel culture, and it also garnered a lot of um, eyeballs. So as you can see from the examples, no, I talked about different things. I talked about different things, and I tried different approaches. There's a joke. There's a story about my family. There's a mindset thing about time. But what do they have in common? Okay. Number one is, it's a controversial topic. You have to pick a topic that it's easy for people to get riled up. I'm sorry, that sounds like mean. I sound like a gossip monger, but you have to pick a controversial topic where people love to talk about their opinions on that topic, you know? Because if people have opinions about a topic, they will most likely engage. Um, Next is, you have to present a challenging belief. So if people disagree with you, there's a high likelihood that people disagree with you. That's a great thing to talk about. And of course, there's a little bit of caveat about not doing this merely for to fight with people just so you can have comments, but to use it as a way for you to present your stand and to grow your personal brand as someone who has principles that they believe in. Number C is letter C is, your post has to entice strong emotions. So in my post, see here, I made them in this post about donuts. I challenged their belief with time. In this one, I challenged their belief about women and relationships. I challenged their belief about the sports or something like that. So I challenge beliefs, and with challenging beliefs, you can bring out strong emotions because you're literally um, you're throwing out your bait, and they will take the bait because people actually do most things through their emotions, and then they try to justify it with logic. So it starts from the smallest thing. Did you know when you woke up this morning, did you kiss your boyfriend good morning, or did you just get out of bed? So the way that we decide to do these things is actually not logical. It's just emotional, how you feel in that moment. And so we do most of our decisions emotionally. And then, when we're asked to justify it, we do justify it with logic. It's the same thing with purchasing something. A lot of our purchases are emotional. Most of our purchases are emotional, and then we justify it with logic. Or it can be funny. So laughter is a strong emotion. And if you're the one on social media bringing laughter to people, they will love you for it. They will remember you for it because you just made their day better. So, the little thing about being funny is you can't really force it. Like, if you're not a funny person by default, it's going to be very hard to force it. But I have a tip for you. If you want to learn how to be funny, you can learn it. You can watch stand-up comedy, or you can start with memes that you find funny. That will get a lot of engagement. So the best content on social are classified into three things according to me. It could be, number one, inspiration. If people are inspired by your post, they love sharing that. Next is education. If people can learn something from it, they love sharing that. And the most powerful thing is entertainment, because you have to remember, at the end of the day, people are on social media to be entertained. Most people, I would say, most people. So your family, your friends, they're on social media to look at memes, to watch videos, to laugh at reels, or to see what their niece or nephew is up to. So it's entertainment, and it's the most powerful because there's no pressure. There's no pressure for them to do anything. They're
Those
just
are the three things that we teach as well. So
awesome.
Karla and I did not pre-plan that, but inspire, educate, entertain. And for instance, like JP Sears, right?
Mhm.
He is an influencer because he does all three
Mm.
in a single post. He can inspire you, educate you, and entertain you in his videos. Yay.
Yeah, so it's really, yeah, it's really, so these are, so as you can see, this is all giving, on social media. You need to have a giving energy. You give inspiration, you give education, you give entertainment. When you operate without giving energy, that's actually how you can also attract other people to give to you, so just a little bit of energetics right there. And now we get to the technical part. So these are the items that make your content newsworthy or easy to talk about or love to access it or share it. And this is a time tested set of principles. In fact, I was a journalist when I left college. I became a journalist. I actually had newspaper column for like 5 years. And I learned, and because I didn't take up journalism in college, I learned about the 8 news values, or these are the things that make content newsworthy. Number one is impact. Does it impact them? How does it affect them? Timeliness, is it recent, like say, if you post something about Pete Davidson and Kim Kardashian's breakup, say 3 weeks ago, I don't know when they actually broke up, um, then you would get more content engagement if you post it 3 weeks ago compared to if you post it now. So timeliness is just about timing. Next is prominence. If you're talking about someone famous, proximity. If you're talking about a topic that is close to them, close to their heart, or close to them in location. So if I'm gonna make jokes about, say, Texans, the Texans will come out of the shell and they will find it funny or say their opinion. And then they will be the one who will be interacting with my content. Kate will probably be there, like as the first comment. So, because it's closer heart. Next is, something that's bizarre or rarity. So it's like Ripley's Believe It or Not. So if something is bizarre or strange or it's a trivia, that makes your content newsworthy. Next is conflict. If you're writing about conflict or a conflicting belief or something that challenges something inside of them, that is also a great way to write social media copy. Next is currency. I think this kind of like timeliness, but also a broader thing. Like right now, it's the recession, or people are talking about the recession, or people are talking about um, cryptocurrency or NFTs failing. So it's not exactly timeliness, but it's just like a general topic around you that is relevant right now. So, and lastly is human interest. So, human interest, I love that because in journalism, human interest is all about connecting to people's humanity. So, when I was a journalist, one of the best articles I wrote and I was really proud about was entitled like the saddest job in the world. And I argued that in that post that the saddest job in the world is being a massage therapist, because energetically people come to you to have their stress and their day's burdens like eased, and they're going to transfer that energy to you. And I talked about the setup of spas and massage places where it's usually dark and they're usually by themselves and they get minimal interaction with their coworkers. And plus they use a lot of like physical strength, but they can't even connect with you in another way because they can't talk to you. So anyway, but that was like a real human interest story. I interviewed massage therapists and all that, and their dreams. And so an example for human interest is my earlier post about my mother and how she, it was a story about my mother. So basically it's a story about my childhood. It's a story about the lessons I learned from my mother, who I love most in the world. It's a story about how she was a great wife to my dad. It was a story about how our household, the energy inside our household. So it was a very personal story, and people love that. People love it when you share those things because it makes you more human. And at the end of the day, when we are reminded of someone else's humanity, it is a good feeling because it reminds you of your own vulnerabilities, of your own principles, of all the good things that you stand for. So I would say learning how to do human interest stories and be vulnerable on social media. Do not overdo it. So that's a little caveat there, because I see a lot of people also literally go on like their full breakdowns and talking about their divorce on social media. And it's human interest kind of, but you're just attracting the wrong kind of people. So if you use social media for business, you're not really doing your business a favor by doing that. So here are some algorithm hacks for you guys. So obviously, every piece of engagement counts, and this is the order of the point system of the algorithm. I'm talking specifically about Facebook, by the way, for this one. A share is the highest number of points, and then a comment, and then in the reactions, love, mad, and sad, and then like, and then the other reactions. So if you want something that you want most people to see, asking your following to share it, that's how the algorithm will reward you with the most traffic. So you should go for more shares and more comments first, instead of going for the reacts. So this is kind of like the point system in this order. So the more shares my post gets, the happier I am, basically. So, and the more shares your post gets, the more that the other things will also just follow, right? It will just snowball. So your goal should be shares mostly. Next algorithm hack, don't share links. So don't share links on your post because the platform will punish you, both on Facebook, Instagram, and other platforms, LinkedIn. So I've already told you before that the best interest of every social media platform is for you to stay on the platform for a longer period of time. So if you share a link on your post, you're actually nudging people to go to another website, and Facebook doesn't like that. So what you can do is you share these links in the comments and tell people to go to the comments, but not on your post if you have to share a link. Okay. But for example, if you're on LinkedIn and you wanted to share an article, you can just copy paste maybe the thing and share it as a LinkedIn article. Then you still stay on the platform, and then you're not punished by the algorithm of the platform. The other algorithm hack is use a clear and eye-catching photo. If you're meaning for, I have written posts with no photos actually that went viral or kind of viral, but it's always better. My posts with photos always perform better. So if it's an eye-catching photo or a pattern interrupt when people go through their news feeds, you have a much, much higher success of getting, or higher chance of getting your content viral. And the algorithm also rewards people who post heavy, quote unquote, heavy pieces of content on the platform, just like Facebook Live. When Facebook Live was a big thing, I did a lot of lives actually. I even had a thing where I did a Facebook Live for 14 days straight. And I got rewarded because of that, because I posted a meaty piece of content on social media, which these platforms really like. As a content creator, there's different kinds of content that you can do, but the best thing that you can do in these platforms is if you can make people stay in the platform for longer. Facebook Live is great because a Facebook Live entices a lot of, can be an impetus for a lot of different kinds of engagement, like a comment, a tagging other people, a share. So Facebook, from time to time, do Facebook Live, so it also drives your content forward. If not, then you just use an eye-catching photo. So here are other tactics for viral copy or compelling copy. Number one is news jacking. It's hijacking the news that is current right now. So just like what I mentioned about, say, a celebrity breakup or something, some news about the royal family, you can always use that as a prompt for you to say your opinion. And then, because it's very timely, like the news, the news values that I taught you before, there's a very high likelihood that they will like that post or they will engage with that post. Number two is voting. Ask people to vote on something. So even if it's something as simple as me asking them, hey, do you like my hair blonde or brunette? And then people will vote because it's natural for humans to want to make their voice heard. So even if it's something stupid like pineapple on pizza or not, or like, so people will love to contribute their thoughts about those things. So if you get people to vote, that's also a sneaky way to get your content viral. Number three is if you ask a thought provoking question. So, one thing that you can do this, my partner, Perry Belcher, who's a great copywriter, actually does this. He goes to like Reddit or Quora or something, and then he looks for topics that get a lot of engagement for that day. And it's usually a thought provoking question. Like, for example, what would you like to change about your childhood? Or recently, he mentioned, um, what is legal but should be illegal or sounds illegal, or what is something that we've accepted that sounds like a scam. And people were just saying like taxes, yeah, or like I don't know, visas or something like that, border control. So and then there's also funny answers. I actually posted a funny answer. I said the biggest scam in the world is tall guys with small dicks. So that also garnered some some haha reacts, and that was great. um, Number four is make the ask. So sometimes even if you just ask people, can you comment here, or can you like this post? Can you share this? Even when you're promoting something, I think that can help actually. So making the ask though is, don't forget about the principle of donor fatigue. If you make a lot of asks, people will get tired of you making that ask. So say if you're using this tactic as a way to promote a nonprofit organization, good for you, right? Make the ask. But even if it's for a good cause, if you make the ask so often, people will get tired of giving, and that's just human nature. So another tactic is recycle old content. There's nothing wrong with you reposting the same post from 5 years ago if that content produced a lot of traffic from 5 years ago, because sometimes it's a new audience, or sometimes it's people who haven't seen it yet, because your content and your branding evolves year after year. So sometimes you've missed out on some people, and so there's actually nothing wrong with reposting or recycling old content. Just make sure that you don't share it, just copy the thing and post it as a new post. Okay. So remember, social media writing is not just writing, it's actually putting content together, and it's being intentional, and it's knowing where to twist the knife. And this actually comes with a very important thing, it's understanding your audience. So, and that comes with practice. Just write every day. Actually, from 2017, I think, to 2019, I wrote every day. I remember waking up in the morning and I would just write something, and I would think about what I would write for that day, because I was really on a mission on growing my following on social media. So I tested a lot of content types. I've had posts that got like 5 likes or 2 comments or something, but you know, uh, eventually you'll get better at it, and then you'll know how to intentionally do it to be able to actually predict the results of what you post. All right, so I would love to leave with that thought. At the end of the day, you're here to inspire, educate, and entertain. And and a side effect of that is to be able to sell and to be able to build a nice personal brand. And this comes with practice. It's just basically like writing. The best way to improve how you write is to write more. That's really it. And to test some content pieces together. And if you want additional help, if you want more focused feedback, you can approach the team at Social Media Pro. Maybe you can inquire on their coaching packages and get one-on-one time with Kate or someone in her team. Feedback is very good, and it really will propel you to become a way better writer, or way better at creating these assets for social media in a short amount of time. So special thanks to Social Media Pro and Monster Content. That's my content company. It's also a partner of Social Media Pro. I will be inside the Social Media Pro Connect Facebook group. If you have any questions, I'm definitely super happy to answer them. Please ignore this poster. That's for my small class in my own company. But thank you, guys. That's it.
Thank you for being here, Karla. I learned a lot from this. I always learn a lot from you. You guys, we do have a partnership with Monster Content. And if you go to socialmediapro.com/scalewind, you can fill out the form there and chat with someone about helping you write social media or any kind of copy that you want to do. So I definitely want to say thank you to Karla and give her that shout out. And she coaches the team over there. We've used them here to help write one of our promo that we did actually for Content Manager Pro, which was really amazing. And I really loved working with the team on that promo. They're super smart and learned so much here. And I just want to say you weren't here. You didn't see Drew B. Wilson. We had on, I think it was last week on meme marketing. And it's so great, especially like when you know, no previous like exposure, so many things that you talked about as well, because memes are viral because they're super emotional. And you even talked about memes a little bit. So I love that because it just, you know, it's like, it shows that it's the truth, right? Like all of us are teaching it and none of us talked about it before we shared it. It's what's working. So I really appreciate you bringing this to us. And you guys, you should follow Karla if you want to get better at comedic and just see social media comedy. If you want to hear her timing and all of that, I highly recommend. Plus, we get into some shenanigans here in Mexico. So all good things. I love that you said you're going to stay, since this is pre-recorded, because Karla of her, can I say her many things? She's going to a poker tournament as we speak, or as you guys are watching this. So we pre-recorded, but if you have questions, leave them below this video in the comments section, and Karla's going to be here in the group. And anytime you have a question, she's just going to be staying here in the group as one of our group experts. She's an expert on copy. She's an expert on all things marketing. So please don't worry. You can ask her anything at all. Really one of the few people I know that's smarter than me. So I ask her all my questions. And from the presentation, as you saw, you could also get dating advice and marriage advice and financial advice. And so follow her for all the things. What else? I'm trying to make sure we hit all of the notes that we need to before we wrap up.
I think that's it so far. I'm excited to answer some of your questions, and if there's anything I wasn't able to cover, feel free to bring it up, because we might improve this class for Social Media Pro 6 months from now.
Yeah, I have one question actually. I just thought of is so a lot of when we shared a lot from the I perspective and how we can incorporate this for ourselves. Can you talk a little bit about the concept of we get clients, and how do we figure out their tone or their voice? I teach it a little bit, but I'd love to hear from you about how you acquire the tone or the voice, so that inside of everything that you shared, like what's appropriate, what's not, but also just like if they were being that voice, how do you do that when it's not your social media, it's a client's?
Yeah, so that's a good question. So actually, if it's your client, then learning their avatar. So I believe there's two avatars. So first, there's an avatar on the target market or your ideal client, and this is a list of things that they are, and that if they're a human being, what are they like? What do they love to read? Like you can Google like customer avatar, right, and you'll find it. But then there's also a second avatar, which I believe is what kind of voice do you have to be so that this avatar believes you? What kind of person do I have to be so that Kate will listen to me if Kate is my ideal client? And so when you are building your avatar for your client and what they believe in and something like that, then you also get to see what kind of voice do I have to be so that they believe me and that I am a person of authority in their world. So I actually have a resource for this. I can share it with you, Kate. It's called the Second Avatar, and then Kate can drop it into the groups for additional resource. But it's really knowing who your client is to their clients, so that so let's use an example. Let's say I am a beauty salon, hairstyling services. So I am, as a beauty salon, I am the person of authority for hair health, for making women feel good about themselves. My voice should be helpful, friendly, like an elder sister who cares about you and makes you look good. So this is how you build your second avatar, what kind of voice you have to be for your target market.
I love that. Actually, you just reminded me of a client that I had. I worked with Zoomies, which is a skating store, right? It's like in the beside the mall, and it's because it's in the mall. That's a skate shop, so they sell like skater clothes and skateboards. But again, because it's in the mall, it's kind of like where you would go to get your first skateboard, but like then when you become a real skater, you go to like real skate shops, and they know this about themselves, right? Because anyways, they've gotten that's just their position in the marketplace, and so they use this to their advantage. And when we were working with them on social media, we were helping them test like organic engagement strategies. They really came to us already knowing that the voice that they had was that of the older brother, because their client is like a kid, a young boy, their target anyway is actually the parent of, but it's like the 8 or 9-year-old boy that wants his first skateboard.
Oh, that's so cool.
So, he's got to convince his parents to buy it from him. And so Zoomies, the voice of the social media is like the older brother. And so you can envision that in your head, that they like, especially because they get a lot of trolls and stuff from people that are real skaters that go to like real skate shops, or whatever.
Right.
And anyways, but they literally, like, in their voice doc, it's like, it's okay to razz your little brother. Like, so they can say things like, they can get back at the trolls like that, like a little noogie that you'd give to your little brother. Right. So they take on the approach that their voice is the older brother to, so they can be authoritative a little bit, but they can also be like, they can make fun of them a little bit and pick on them a little bit, because that's what a little brother would do. So then all the content that's written is you're writing to your little brother from the big brother voice. And then there's a lot of room for you to be able to play in there. So yeah.
It's so cool. Yeah, cool. I love that. They did it perfectly.
Cool. Well, all right. Okay, great. Well, see, we're smart, y'all, just so you know. And sorry, did I just say that? Oh my God. I'm such a jerk.
No, you're not supposed to talk about your achievements. That's what I said. Just kidding.
Oh, that's right. That's probably why I'm single.
Not feminine. Just kidding.
Yeah, that's probably why I'm single. But we do get to hang out and talk business. Luckily, when we do, we record it a lot of the times, and you guys get to benefit from it. And so I will see you later tonight for dinner. Yes. And we won't talk business. So thanks for being here. Actually, we probably will, because my friend Steve. Okay, sorry. My friend is visiting, and don't want to talk business.
Your business friend.
My business friend. Anyways, but great for you to be here. This was fun and learned so much, and we'll see you. We're glad you're now here, a staple member of the Social Media Pro faculty in the group. Yay. And feel free to post anytime and share your nuggets with us.
Cool. I will, for sure.
Bye, everyone.
Bye guys.